Hey, welcome to the Electronic Gaming Mostly podcast. I'm the Night Terror, here with the Gabbler and special guest Monty. And instead of just sitting here talking, we're going to feed our Destiny 2 addiction and talk about that kind of thing. We were going to talk about E3 last week, but it kind of ended and we were like, wait, I can't wait for the rest of it. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, E3 was a real disappointment. That way too.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when Sony's not going to be there and Blizzard's not there, and I don't think E3 is going to last much longer, man. If you're not going to be at E3, at least make some announcements at the same time as E3.
I think it'll still exist as a convention, but it'll be more paxy.
Yeah, there's so many other like expos that these places go to.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like Microsoft did it, and they were off-site and just had a whatever you call it, announcement thing during E3. But like it's like, you know, the video game season, right? So don't be like Sony. Don't just be like, we're gonna just do our own thing. We'll see in the future.
I think they don't have much is why. They really only have The Last of Us. I don't think God of War is ready for an announcement. They really only have The Last of Us 2 and what you call it? Fucking I think the biggest reason is that they don't have anything other than The Last of Us 2 and that other game, Death Stranding.
Yeah.
And God of War 5 isn't ready for announcement, and PlayStation 5 isn't ready for announcement. So they were just like, we're not going to do anything this year. But even so, I don't know. I feel like you should at least show something.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to not be at a show like that. I guess you can't lose if you don't show up.
I mean,
well, one of the good things is that Microsoft showed off their Game Pass, which, you know, some people are like, oh, this game's subscription thing is fucking awful. It's like, I guess if you don't buy a lot of video games, it's awful. But if you buy a lot of video games, it's great because you save a lot of money.
That's pretty awesome.
Now, there wasn't a whole lot on there. Like, here's the thing about these games, the subscription thing is like, especially with Microsoft, it's $5 a month. You find one game that you want to play that you would pay $60 for, it's worth it. You know, so I saw Metro Exodus on there. I'm like, hey, I don't have to get it on the Epic Store, and it's only $5. Like, yes, sign me up.
I mean, you're going to be able to get all of Halo in there if you don't
eventually.
Own
but
Xbox,
I mean, just right now, they're going to add a lot of shit.
Yeah, of course. And $5 is pretty damn cheap. It's pretty good.
I mean, I don't know if I'm going to hang on to the Origin one, even though I'm paid through a year, just because there's. I mean.
Yeah,
we can sign up again at any time. I just don't want to be like,
yeah. I mean,
we're gonna play Mass Effect and then never play it because we're playing Destiny.
That's the beauty of.
Did you join the fight scene?
No, I didn't. Sorry, I'm in the middle of doing shit. Sorry, no, I'm doing it now. I'll just go to Orbit, and you can join me in Orbit or something. You know.
So yeah, if you couldn't tell, podcast today we're playing Destiny, so you're going to hear
talk
some
about
Destiny talk
while we play Destiny.
Yeah, we finally did it. I know. You're like, what happened? You were bitching about Destiny 2 weeks ago, and now you're balls deep in it. Yes, our lips are firmly wrapped around Bungie's cock right now. Again, I don't know why. They tricked us into it. They're like, hey, it tastes like candy.
Well, it's on a pretty good deal right now. It's $40 right now for the $100 version. That's pretty fucking good. You get everything. Everything. Yeah. Except for the new expansion that's coming out in September or November. I don't remember.
They did fuck me over a little bit. My Hunter was still level 30, but
like
Titan and my Warlock were both level 25, and they gave me a free boost, so I boosted my Titan from 25 to 30, which should have been 30 anyway. But I'm going to have to re-level my Warlock when I get to that. But this isn't like old Destiny where you just have 3 characters leveled up to max with everything. Because it's a lot harder to get to.
Shit to do.
Yeah, there's a fuck ton of shit to do, and it takes a lot longer to get to max light level because you keep.
Well, we're so far behind.
Yeah, but you have to keep pumping resources into putting your light level up. It's not like you can't just infuse for Glimmer anymore. So
but
that
we're
kind of
counting
sucks.
for 2 DLCs after Forsaken, and those DLCs raise the light level just like year 1.
Well,
so we are pretty far
use
behind.
My air duster real quick.
Your air duster.
I muted it. No, it's my vape tank.
Let's stick to E3 for a little bit though, because there is some cool stuff at E3. They talked about the big thing is Microsoft released information on their next console. Still not modular because fucking console developers are retarded. And I've said this before on streams and shit. I'll say it again. The smartest thing a fucking console maker can do is make their shit modular. Because then you're opening people to the PC world, the conceptualization that you can later on down the road, instead of making a new whole console, you can sell a graphics card, working with companies like NVIDIA. I mean, most of these developers like Microsoft and Sony, they produce their own fucking graphics cards anyways, working with NVIDIA and shit like that, and AMD and all this shit. So it's like, why don't you just do that and make it modular so somebody can just buy the graphics card from you? You're making the money off of that sale, not, sure, NVIDIA will be getting a portion of that, but so will you as Sony. It's like people just modularly fucking swap in and out, and you don't have to make a new console. You just make new parts to it. And then people are it's kind of moving more towards the PC realm of how things work. But instead they're just still doing it. And the newest, going 820 frames. Like the way
there's even developers saying that they're not really excited about the next gen consoles because it doesn't do a whole lot.
Of course.
I mean, it's got a solid state in it. What do they do? No more loading times.
They're excited about shit that's been around on PC for years.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it's going to be. It's going to be a PC that just takes proprietary parts. Want to upgrade your solid state, your hard drive, your graphics card, whatever. It's going to be basically a PC part that's in some kind of shell that only fits in that console.
Yeah. I mean, you've been able to change out the hard drive for a long time.
Yeah, it's going to be the same thing, just with more
But they didn't really
parts.
mean for you to do that. What you're really doing is taking a laptop hard drive and putting it in your console. So,
well, it was actually a PC hard drive for Xbox One, I think, or 360.
Yeah, I think they had a fat hard drive.
But you had to put it in you had to mod it pretty heavily to get it to work.
It's a great way to stay in shape.
I don't really remember what else was at E3 that I was hype about.
Well, I mean, obviously we got stuff. I'm going to include stuff prior to E3, like Death Stranding's announcement. We got dates on a lot of things, which is great. We got Final Fantasy VII Remake date. That's cool. We got what is it? You got Shenmue release date.
Oh yeah, Shenmue is going to be Epic exclusive, and now people are wanting their money back for kickstarting.
Well, it doesn't work that way.
Well, they're actually looking into it. I mean, I don't want to say it doesn't work that way. I mean, they said it was going to come out on Steam. When you tell someone it's going to come out on Steam,
to want to support somebody,
and
then they just because they go with a different launcher. I think that's kind of screwed up, especially this game, because this game wants to get the extra money. It needs the extra money. All these people that are supposedly fans of it, and now they're just. I mean, I don't think you're a fan if you're willing.
Well, it's not even just that; it's that they didn't really like how it looked based on the preview, which I get. I mean,
I think they're trying to stick to the nostalgia of what the original games looked like.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I wasn't really pissed off on how it looks, but I understand why people are like, "Wow, this looks like shit." I think, like the Dreamcast, that was as realistic as it got for Dreamcast. You know, it just happened to look a little bit anime-like, right? So they're trying to recreate that, but I think when people had it in their mind of what the game was supposed to look like,
it might look like a Resident Evil type update. Resident Evil 2 levels of changes visually.
I was kind of hoping for a graphics update myself.
I mean, I can understand that absolutely. I don't think Shenmue is trying to be kind of hyper realistic. I think it should have went with that.
Well, I mean,
because
I was hoping it would have at least kind of looked like a Yakuza game or something.
right. I have to agree with that. I mean, I never played the originals, but I'm right there with you. I don't think it fits that way. You get like a Crash Bandicoot game that comes out after years, and like it works kind of looking the same way because that's the stylization of it. But when I look at Shenmue pictures and video, I feel like it was trying to be top of the line at the time that it came out. Like, I mean, obviously the first game and the second game don't look exactly alike, right?
Yeah, they do.
There's graphical updates, aren't there?
No, there's not really graphical updates. It's just a bigger world and more shit on screen at the same time. I mean, the second one originally came out on like 5 discs for Dreamcast in Japan.
I stand corrected.
But you had to import it from Japan if you wanted to play it in the United States, so they re-released it on original Xbox. But it didn't look any better. It wasn't like they updated it for Xbox. They just
original
put it on
Xbox sucks. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's better than Dreamcast, but it was still Dreamcast graphics.
The original Xbox.
Of course you did. It's your first one.
Well, I got it because it was more powerful than the PlayStation at the time.
Wrong.
I got it for Halo, man. So much.
I didn't get it for Halo, but there was nothing much when it first came out.
Show me something as beautiful as fucking Final Fantasy X on Xbox One. It doesn't exist. Take you popping fucking textures.
I don't even know what Final Fantasy X looked like. So
fucking Xbox. Every fucking game had pop in constantly, like it was running on fucking id Tech 5 or some shit.
PlayStation was the same way. I mean,
no, it wasn't. Never had pop in like that.
I don't remember Xbox having pop in either. I'm just thinking of specific games. I mean, did you have an Xbox?
Yeah, I played. My brother had an Xbox. I played like Morrowind. That's where I got into Elder Scrolls. I played Morrowind on
Yeah, I played that more than anything else on Xbox.
On Xbox, and
that was great. That was the summer when I was too young to get a job, but too old for my parents to force me into daycare. So I had spent the entire summer playing Morrowind, and I couldn't even beat it because of glitches and shit. There was this glitch because it couldn't be patched because it was on Xbox. There's this one guy you need to talk to progress the main quests. But the problem is I did all the side quests and all the side factions and stuff first, so I was leader of the Assassin's Guild, the Morag Tong. So this guy you had to talk to was a member of the Morag Tong, but instead of doing the main quest dialogue, he would just say, "What can I do for you, Grandmaster?" So I could never beat the game. Like, I had a Prima guy that was like, "Hey, we know about this bug, and here's a way you can kind of back into the ending if you do all this other stuff." So I spent like 2 weeks doing all that other stuff, trying to get an alternate way into the ending, and that was also broken. So I never actually beat the game on Xbox. I had to play it on PC years later.
It's funny because I had never played a game. I mean, I played JRPGs and shit and been into video games for a long time, but I had never played anything like that. So I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just running around doing whatever the fuck I wanted. I didn't care about quests or story. I just ran around jumping everywhere, and eventually I could jump super fucking high.
Yeah, you get your acrobatics all the way up.
I went to sleep outside a couple times and got bit by a vampire.
Yeah. I did that on purpose. I got my acrobatics all the way up. Everything that the vampire thing buffed, I got up to 100, so that when I got the vampire thing, it was above 100. I had like 120 acrobatics or something. I was jumping all around Vivek like a ninja. Like, how do I get up there? This is the most confusing city ever. Now, fuck it, jumping.
Fuck it.
I remember there was a way to make like crazy, insane magic scrolls and stuff.
Yeah, man, that was Oblivion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was Morrowind too. But the thing about Morrowind is your magic didn't regenerate, so you're constantly pounding potions, which sucked. There was a code on Xbox where you could put it in, and it would make either stamina, health, or magicka regenerate really, really fast. You could only have one at a time, but I used to just keep the magicka thing going, so I never had to pound potions, and that made it a lot better. But Morrowind had like the sanctuary spells, so you can like enchant all your shit to have sanctuary 100% and never get hit by anything ever. Or you could do chameleon on everything, just constant effect jewelry.
They took away like really overpowered shit like that as they went forward.
They just keep fucking up Magic, man. Magic used to be great. You could do anything. If you're like, hey, I'm a mage, but I kind of feel like doing this quest melee.
It was weird.
You just summon armor and summon a sword and go in there, and all the stuff scales off, your mage stats. Or if you want to be a ninja,
where you can make your own magic to like, oh, you can't. Nope, can't do that.
Yeah,
that was one of the coolest things. I just like make spells.
Yeah, instead you gotta get mods.
I remember I would make like fireball spells that were just
dude, atom bomb. You just throw it and it just fucking kill everybody, including yourself. It's
like,
great.
I'm pretty sure I took out half of Vivek with just a single fireball.
Well, the other thing is I fucked up in Vivek somehow, and every time I went there, the guards would attack me. Like you can't just go away for a certain amount of time and have them reset. It's like once they're hostile towards you, they're hostile forever. So every time I went to Vivek to do anything, I was just running from the guards. It's like cue the Benny Hill music. They couldn't hit me because I had Sanctuary 100%. Really embarrassing for them.
Gibbed. But
dude, Vivek was no joke either.
With E3 was there wasn't a lot of showing. Todd Howard came out and dick teased everybody, thinking that there was going to be something about this star, whatever the fuck it is. I don't even remember. Starfield. Nothing. He just came out and dickmatized people for a little bit and then took off, introduced some people, that kind of shit. It was really lame. I mean, I know there were some things that I'm probably forgetting. I got a list.
It was a forgettable E3, but it's every other year.
There's actually a lot of games, but it's not really like, oh shit, here's some exciting stuff. It's just what we're looking forward to. So like obviously Cyberpunk 2077, game that everybody's looking forward to. We got a release date, April 16th.
Yeah, spring 2020 is going to be
2077.
Every fucking game is coming out spring 2020. But that's too far away for me to get hyped about. I know people get fucking hyped about shit, but I don't. It's like, oh, hey, that's cool. And then I forget about it until like a month before it comes out.
There's some games that I got on a list that I know that other people won't like, but whatever, like Starmancer, like that kind of sounds cool.
I haven't pre-ordered a single game.
I know I've ranted here about Bloodlines before, but apparently I was misunderstanding. Like, you don't play as the character. It's one of the characters that has a faction.
I think that was on stream. I don't think you ranted about that on the podcast, so no need to explain yourself.
It was some forced bullshit. Like, it went down a checklist of every fucking thing that you could imagine for like a SJW's idea of a heroic person. He's black, he's gay, he's Muslim, he's got he's fighting for minority rights, he's a feminist. I'm not making any of this up, by the way. This is literally a character in Bloodlines too. Now, I thought you were going to have to play as this character, which pissed me off because Bloodlines is about making your own fucking character. Like, that was... But, I'm just going off the trailer. The trailer they showed at E3, people were walking around like as a female and shit like that, and I'm like, okay. Maybe you can actually make it. It's like one of them was a white guy, the other one was like a chick. Okay, that's cool. You can be your own character. That's what I want. Like, I don't care if this fucking SJW guy is a fucking NPC, as long as I'm not really forced to be friends with him. Because you shouldn't take a game like Elder Scrolls and stuff like that and force people to be friends with NPCs they may not like. Like, that kind of shit is
or
old
any
and
of
outdated.
Them. I mean, if you want to be a psychopath and just murder entire towns and then reload the game, or not,
is one of those games where I don't think you can get away with. You have to be friends with this character. I mean, I'm almost certain they'll make you, but whatever. So that's kind of on my list. We don't have a date for it. It's 2020, whatever. Final Fantasy VII Remake, super fucking hype. March 3rd. Oh, I'm so fucking hype about that.
Well, it's part 1, isn't it? It's going to be like 3 parts or something?
Yeah, it's going to be 3 parts.
Is it full price for each part?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be $40 to $60. But they've said that the amount of they've put so much more into it than it's not just a remake of like exactly scene for scene. They've added a lot of context, like a ton of context. The game it's really a Resident Evil 2 level remake where there's a ton of different things going on, even though it's true to, it follows that same kind of rail that it used to, but there's a lot different going on with it, a lot more context. Areas that needed working on have been worked on. And they've said that, how much content they put into it is going to fill up 3 Blu-ray discs. They talked about that just in terms of size.
Let's not forget that most of that fucking space in any game comes from audio files. So there's going to be a lot of talking.
Maybe. I don't know.
What the hell, crowd?
What the hell, crowd? There was some controversy over the voice.
That one character's boobs. They made her boobs smaller.
There's controversy over Barrett's voice. Those people are fucking stupid and never played Final Fantasy VII, and they can suck a big fat chode. Secondly, there's controversy over Tifa's tits. People are upset because they're not as big.
I looked into because why wouldn't you? And like the original character model, I didn't realize Final Fantasy VII looked so like cartoony.
Well, yeah, that was the first Final Fantasy on a PlayStation.
Yeah, it was the first 3D Final Fantasy game.
Yeah. So you had like
you got combat. Everyone in that game is really disproportionate, and you're trying to make it more realistic looking.
There was no anime back then in the United States, and this is one of the reasons why Final Fantasy 7 and 8 are so successful. There wasn't really any anime back then for a lot of people. The people that were watching anime were watching like Grappler Baki and
the only anime we really had back then was like Speed Racer.
Yeah, it wasn't like top end type shit that you get now. So Final Fantasy VII was kind of introducing that to a lot of teenagers back then, because it's very anime-esque, and the overworld of the game is very quirky looking. But when you go into battle, the models get way better looking, and look very anime. So I think that's a lot of the success to it. But if you look at Tifa, she doesn't really have big tits. Okay. I think people are misremembering because they fucking jerked off to a lot of hentai.
She did in the cutscenes, though.
Yeah, the cutscenes, it was a different, like the cutscene proportions were different than the battle proportions. Now, I don't know if they're going to do highly rendered cinematics that look Advent Children-esque, because the game already kind of looks that way. Yeah. I'm not really worried about it. It doesn't bother me too much, because I know they're not doing it for political reasons. Japanese studios just don't do that. So I don't have a fucking problem with it, honestly. And both sides can go fuck themselves in this debate. Like, if you think
I've seen the new character model. Like, it looks fine. I mean, how do you want it to be like comically big?
Feminist bullshit. I don't get it. You're an idiot. And if you think this is a loss for your incel bullshit, just fuck off. Okay. It never was about her tits anyways. The problem is people have become so obsessed with anime that they expect fan service. And, it was never about anything like that. She was never about fan service. She never wore anything super skimpy. They got the same outfit, the short skirt. So I don't know what people are fucking complaining about, man. Just shut the fuck up and enjoy the game. Jesus Christ. Complain about a secondary character. We got Baldur's Gate 3. Didn't get an announcement, but that's going to be co-op, and it's being made by Larian Studios, the guys who did Divinity Original Sin.
Yeah. I think
that's going to be great.
Maybe we didn't talk about that last week.
Midnight Ghost Hunt. This is like a prop hunt game that's being done in a pretty interesting way. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't think we'll play that, but it looks pretty interesting.
God, this cutscene, I haven't seen this shit.
I'm skipping it. So Wolfenstein comes out July 26th. We're going to be playing that. Co-op hype. I'm sure we'll be at the point in Destiny 2 by then where we're like, okay, let's do something for a little bit that's different while we wait for this next fucking event or whatever.
Maybe, we'll see.
Doom Eternal, November 22nd. Obviously, a good choice.
The thing is, like, these games are like a week or two of gameplay at most with the way we fucking play through games.
Ancestors is an interesting looking game. You play as like primordial apes evolving up to the point of like you know, the missing link. And that comes out in fall. Borderlands 3 is September 13th.
I just want to say something real quick. So Thorn looks like it could be pretty good. I don't think it works well when more than one person has Thorn. Because you think that you killed someone with it, and then their shit doesn't drop.
You don't get the orb because somebody else killed it. I agree. I think in PvP it'll be really good, but in PvE not so much. Shenmue 3, November 19th. Moons of Madness looked pretty cool. October 19th. I put this other game here, Maneater. It's like you're a shark and you just go around eating shit. I don't know what that.
Yeah, I saw a video on that. I mean, it looks pretty funny, but I don't think it's a game I'd play. I'd probably watch 5 minutes of it and be like, well, these people getting shredded. Announcement
for this, but Ghostwire Tokyo is the next thing coming from the mind behind Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, that looked good. He said it's not survival horror. It looks creepy, but he said it's not survival horror. So
yeah, we shall see, my dude. Elden Ring is the.
I think that's probably what I'm most excited for. Like,
no announcement on that, just a little teaser similar to what we got with Sekiro a couple years ago.
People have interviewed Miyazaki, and he's not being shy about keeping things secret. Like, he says it's going to be like Dark Souls meets Breath of the Wild, like with the open world and shit, and being able to.
Awesome to me.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's got George Martin writing it instead of the books right now, so that's. There's a game called Carrion. I don't remember anything about it. I think it was like Metroidvania. 12 minutes looks interesting. It's kind of like an isometric game where you beat your wife.
12 minutes.
So I'm super hype about that. No, it's a game where like it's kind of like a Groundhog Day kind of thing.
Did they just spawn us into these fucking pikes here? What the fuck?
Of course they did. I've been I throw a lot of ideals on paper for games I want to make.
Beating my wife is on top
because I have more. Because I have
One,
more
beating
ideas.
Your wife. 2,
I have way more ideas than I have
3,
skill right now.
Beating your wife.
So
Honey, come here. I need inspiration.
One of the ideas I had was like a Groundhog Day thing would be pretty cool because you don't get a lot of games like that. And this game is going to be like a Groundhog Day that occurs over 12 minutes where somebody breaks into your house and you got to convince your wife or girlfriend that that's going to happen without her thinking you're fucking insane. You know, like the game
or
the 12 minutes thing starts with that guy showing up to your door in like 2 minutes. So it seems like there's a lot of potential there for something interesting. We got Dying Light 2 in spring of 2020. I don't know why it's taking so fucking long for that game to come out.
Better be worth it. I mean, Dying Light had a lot of play
the same
time.
Reason why fucking what was that game called that they did before that? The open world zombie game.
Oh, Dead Island.
Yeah, I know Dead Island.
Dead Island. Yeah.
Well, there's another company making Dead Island 2, apparently. They've been saying that for years. But apparently it's still being made.
Is that your reasoning?
I like the Dead Island games. I enjoyed them.
I mean, Dead Island was okay. Dying Light was really good, though. It just, there wasn't a whole lot to do. Like, there's been a few times where we're like, hey, let's go back and play Dying Light. It's like, and do what? Like, we've done everything in that game.
Dying Light is, well, we could get Monty killed a bunch. Dead Island was like the beta to Dying Light, really. Dead Island wasn't really a full game, in my opinion. It was just an idea. And then we got, you know.
I mean, you got to remember, that game came out, it's got to be 10 years now. Right? So, like, for 10 years ago, there was, like, pretty deep crafting involved and shit. Like, there's a lot to that game. I mean, they didn't have the parkour and shit, but it was, you know, I wouldn't say it's a beta, but...
I will say this. These things where you got to destroy these orbs, Thorn is really good against it because of the dot damage. I don't think it's based off damage, but hits for these fucking orbs. Next game is Watch Dogs Legion. Looks interesting.
Yeah, I didn't play the second one. I like the first one. No one else did. I did.
I like the first one.
I never really got into the Watchdog games myself.
I mean, anything that does Grand Theft Auto better than Grand Theft Auto, I'm okay with. And I know people are going to probably flipping shit right now because I like Grand Theft Auto 5. I didn't like any of the other Grand Theft Autos.
Here's one that I'm surprisingly interested in: Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So, played the last Ghost Recon. It was pretty decent, a pretty standard Ubisoft game. You know, as you do, you go around, open up the map, a lot of guns and things like that. But this next one's going to supposedly have survival element.
Oh,
that sounds pretty cool. Avengers, everybody was talking about that. Everybody was looking forward to that. I didn't really have my hopes up, but
the averagers.
People are the big controversy there is people were upset that it doesn't look like the actors from the movie. I don't know if it was a likeness issue of money, but I seriously doubt it because Disney's in charge of all that. But I will say that it's probably not in the contract of the actors to do a game, but at the same time, it looks like they're trying to make the likeness of the characters to the voice actors. Like Tony Stark looks a little bit like, not completely. They're not trying to have Tony Stark be Nolan North, but he looks a little bit like Nolan North. And Troy, even the Hulk, he looks a little bit like Troy Baker. He's got a little bit of his features in his face. And the female that plays, I don't remember her name off the top of my head, that plays Black Widow.
Yeah, well, Black Widow looks nothing like Black Widow from the movies, but like
it does
people
look like
forget that like it's all based on the comic book, right? So like you can't.
Right.
They're taking a completely different story. It's like saying, "Oh man, Injustice they don't look anything like they do in Justice League." Like, so no one, who the fuck cares, man? It's a game. It's a different medium. They're gonna look completely different. Even comic books among themselves, sometimes they look completely different based on who draws them. So you can't pretend that like the original source material is the movie and everything's got to look exactly like that. I think the other thing people were bitching about that game was they just didn't show enough gameplay. Like even after they announced it and showed it, there wasn't really a whole lot to talk about.
I'm gonna let you finish, Monty.
I was gonna say, I don't think that
Kanye Knight over here.
I can't really hear if you're not talking loud because there's too much gunfire going on.
Really understands that all these heroes came from comic books before they showed up in
most
movie.
Video games make the likeness of the voice to the voice actors. That's pretty common. Because a lot of the mocap is done by the voice actors, so instead of hand painting a face on it, they typically just go with, what they're looking at.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. However,
not everyone can be Capcom
shown off, and that's a little discerning. It looked like they had some pseudo gameplay, pseudo fed gameplay. Pseudo, my dude. They had like that gameplay kind of thing where it's not really gameplay. It's like it's like part of the trailer cinematic, but it cuts to areas where it looks like this is what they want it to play like. We'll see when it gets here. I'm not really. This game for me is like Jurassic. What was it? Jurassic Park thing. Where you kind of have your own Jurassic Park, right?
Jurassic World Evolution.
Yeah, that one. Like. It looks good. I'm interested in it, but I'm not hype about it, Because
I got that game and it was a lot of fun for like 2 weeks.
According to these guys, there's not going to be any transactions of any type, which I don't normally say that because I don't give a fuck about that kind of shit. Because if people want to spend their money, let them spend their fucking money. It ain't my goddamn business. But at the same time, the reason why I mention it is because they're talking about releasing shit for free, like more characters down the line and shit. So different Avengers, maybe Spider-Man, Wolverine. Who knows who will be a part of that? Yes, Marvel and X-Men are the same universe. People
they are
now. That. They've always been. It's just Fox kind of fucking.
They're talking about. Well, I shouldn't say they're talking about it. People are asking for like a real life Spider-Man Spider-Verse crossover thing with like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland all in the same Spider-Man movie.
Apparently there was like a tweet that went out that was just a spider web and it had a 4 in it. Like maybe Fox is doing Spider-Man 4, which would mean Tobey Maguire, right? Because 1, 2, and 3 was Tobey Maguire.
Well, Sony also did the Andrew Garfield ones, but
but those were Amazing Spider-Man. They weren't. That was Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2. That would be 3, not 4. So 4 kind of implies, I don't know. How old is that fucking kid now? Jesus Christ. I don't even know if he looks like
70.
The other big thing people were excited about for E3 was Star Wars. Whatever, man.
Yeah, and people are bitching about the same thing that I've been bitching about for every Star Wars movie, Star Wars game since Jedi Outcast, is that it's a fucking lightsaber. It should dismember people. It's like, you want to be cool and have a lightsaber, but every fucking enemy has like, Cortosis armor, Cortosis weapons, it blocks lightsabers. Like, fuck off.
There's no dismemberment in it, and maybe
there's no dismemberment of humans. You could dismember robots.
Yeah, this is the problem. This is the problem with Disney owning this shit. It's really fucking obnoxious.
It doesn't have to be gory, man. Like, it's a lightsaber. Agree. It cauterizes shit. I remember Jedi Outcast. Right. I used to turn on saber realistic combat with that code.
Turns people's shit into corduroys.
People would just walk up to you, and because the AI doesn't know to stay away from your fucking lightsaber, like your lightsaber would just dismember people, and you don't even have to fucking swing it. It was great.
I agree. That's one of the most disappointing things. Watching that gameplay, the loop looked boring as fuck. Because, I mean, if anybody's ever played Jedi, what was it? The Jedi, it was the Force Unleashed. That's what it was called. Yeah. When that game first came out, that looked interesting, and it played pretty decently. And then the second one came out, and it was bland.
They gave him a weird lightsaber style, though.
Well, it was also bland because it came out and, like, it was nothing different from the first one. And this just looks like the Force Unleashed. It doesn't look exciting at all. The combat is very mediocre. The abilities look very lame. The animations are pretty bad too. Like, I'm not into it. The character is played by the guy from Gotham that does Joker. So I mean, I guess that's cool for people that watch that show. But I don't know. It's weird because that kid, I was watching, I'm rewatching Fringe, and he was in an episode of Fringe as like this fucking creepy kid who could like mind control people. Like, he does the creepy kid role really well, but it looks like he's trying to be like a more reserved kind of Jedi in this one, and I don't know. It just doesn't fit the characters. I just don't like the animations, man. The animations are fucking weird. When he puts his lightsaber away, I mean, we're so used to cool shit now, like, when the lightsaber gets put away, they use the Force to put it away on their belt, and like turn it off as they put it away. This guy just holds it out to his side and turns it off, and then by hand puts it on his belt. I don't like that. It's lame, man.
It's always been really hard to take lightsabers and make them, because lightsaber movement in the movies is always like very deliberate, and you can't really do that in a game when you're controlling it. So it always looks a bit like drunk people slap boxing,
Right.
Like just kind of a whirlwind of fucking lightsabers.
Well, the trick there is just don't have a lightsaber duel. I think that's fine, honestly.
No, I think you could do it, but you'd have to like take some control away from the players, right?
I agree.
So like you hold block, or you block and then push a certain direction, and it does the animation on its own. So you're still kind of controlling it, but the game controls which animation based on.
I think God of War really did it well. Like when you fight certain segments, it's really kind of it's technically just some old school, button mashing prompt shit, but it's not really like, it's like you're not hitting all these different buttons. It's just the one button, but you're participating in it. You got to block when he's attacking, and then you got to fucking attack when he's not attacking. So I think they could have definitely did something like that. Maybe It works really well in God of War because it's not overused, and it's during these moments where you couldn't possibly make this happen during combat. And sometimes you get these fights where, I mean, God of War does dueling really well, where you hit on the enemy and you can block the attack, and if you block the attack at the right time, it goes into like a slow motion and you can counter and shit like that if you have the ability for it. And you kind of have to play it like that. And then they get these segments where it goes into like a different phase of the boss, and during that phase transition is when they do kind of you got to hit this button to attack and hit this button to block for a little bit, and then it phases. I think that works out really well, and they should look towards that. But I'm just more set back by the animations. Like, this guy does not look like a fucking badass Jedi. He looks like a guy that picked up a fucking lightsaber and discovered, oh, I got force powers. Even the force powers are lame. It's like slowing down time. Like, what the fuck? That's so fucking lame. I don't want to slow down time. It's like they even they did one cool thing, and it was kind of cringy and cliche in my opinion. Like, he slows down time and then he pulls the fucking soldier towards him and kills him with a lightsaber blast. Jedi don't do that, man. That's not a Jedi thing. You want to do something like that, you got to have like Sith shit, man. Like, Jedi don't do fucked up shit like that. It just doesn't happen. I get that that's some cool shit, and I think that's why it worked in Force Unleashed, because you're technically like one of Darth Vader's secret apprentices that eventually.
Well, I mean, we don't know the story. You could be Dark Jedi.
Well, it takes place in between. It takes place before Rogue One. Lawrence Fishburne. That's not him at all. It's what's his name? Morpheus. Oh God. Fuck. What's the name of him?
I don't know who you're talking about.
The black guy from fucking Rogue One. He's got the lazy eye.
Oh, Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker, that's him. So he dies in Rogue One, but he's playing himself in this game.
He's playing Forrest Whitaker?
He himself is in this game.
Forrest Whitaker is Forrest Whitaker.
Why are we doing this strike?
It's a playlist, man. It's daily power gear. Powerful gear. That's it for Star Wars. It doesn't look that great. Final Fantasy VIII is getting remastered. That's cool.
I'm excited about that one myself.
Yeah.
Are they giving it the Final Fantasy VII treatment?
No, this is not a remake. It's just a remaster. They'll probably remake 8 after 7's done being remade. I guarantee it, because 8 is just about as popular as 7. I mean, 7 is definitely the most popular, but 8's just about as popular, and goddamn does 8 need it. If you look at 8, the remaster, I don't think people understand how important the remaster is. It's not super amazing to me visually, because I just recently played 8 on PC with mods, which basically is what the remaster looks like. But if you go back and play the original, holy shit, it looks like trash. Like, the models look so bad.
When it came out.
Like, in Final Fantasy VII, there's like the blocky models on the world, and then you go into battle and it looks really good. When you look at Final Fantasy VIII, it's almost like a downgrade in the models, because certainly there's more detail in the faces and shit in 8, but it's more pixelated in that way, because 7's got that kind of old school, it's kind of
grainy look.
Well, it's not really. That's 8 that has the grainy look, in my opinion. 8
in the cutscenes, anyways.
Yeah, 8 has the grainy look in my opinion in the combat, battle, whatever. Whenever you go into combat, but it's got that kind of like a pasty doll look thing going on, where there's eyeballs and then a mouth and that's it. There's not really a nose. There's not a lot of detail in the face. They don't have a lot of detail in the cutscenes. Certainly 8 is amazing when it comes to cinematics. And it's, also obviously technically better. but it's got like a heavy pixelation to it that is just weird, and this fixes that like immensely. Oh yeah, that doesn't come with me. After that is Link's Awakening. That's Nintendo, and I know a lot of people here don't care about Nintendo, but Link's Awakening looks actually fucking cool. I played that on my fucking Game Boy when I was a kid, and seeing it remade is kind of cool. It's a little cartoony, you know.
Breath of the Wild 2, I'm excited about.
Yeah, that's being made right now. If you've never played Breath of the Wild, you don't know what you're fucking missing. It's the equivalent of having never played World of Warcraft in your life, or, you know, not knowing who John Wick is. That's really kind of the equivalent there. So play that game. That's really it. I think the biggest problem with E3 this year was twofold. One is no one likes mobile games. Okay? Stop announcing mobile games.
But no one wants to. No one goes to E3 for that shit.
Right. Nobody wants to go to E3 and play it at a booth, and nobody certainly wants to see you waste time on your fucking stage to talk about a goddamn mobile game. I don't care how good your mobile game is done or how free it is. Fuck off. Get out of here with that shit. Blizzard doesn't understand it. Bethesda doesn't understand it. Stop. I'm telling you now.
It's time to stop.
You can announce it at the beginning or the end of E3, but don't do it on your main stage.
Hey, can we go to Nessus real quick?
And listen, if you're gonna do that, just do like a 5-second, 15-second clip or something, like a 15-second video plays talking about it, and boom, you're done. Move on. Don't fucking come out and talk about it. Don't have Todd Howard sit there and talk about the numbers of fucking Elder Scrolls Blades. Nobody fucking cares. And don't have some guy come out and is like, I'm on the Elder Scrolls Blades team, and we're going to talk about what's coming in Elder Scrolls Blades for free.
Well, that's another thing that I really don't care about, that they waste time on, is like, here, look at the developers making the game.
Oh my God, that is so fucking annoying.
And I think what it is they're trying to, like, you know, humanize the development team so that when the game comes out, people are less likely to bitch about it. Like, hey, remember, these are real people. It's like, yeah, real people are still subject to criticism.
It's part of this virtue signaling shit. Like, look at these people. These people matter. Like, it used to be like, okay, the executives are in charge. Shut the fuck up and do your job. Now it's like everybody gets a say in what gets put into the fucking game and shit. And so now we gotta like put them at the forefront and get their faces out there and virtue.
Yeah, like name one person who worked for Kojima.
Right, exactly. Shit, maybe his artist. That's it. His best friend, fucking Yoshito Yokotori Shagatoshi. I don't fucking remember his name off the top of my head.
Shagatoshi.
It's like Yoshida or something like that. I don't fucking. It's so like, dude. Here's the thing, okay?
All right, you can get 5,000 glimmer for each of these chests, and they do give you Imperials. So this is a good way to get away from the glimmer cap. Sorry, go ahead.
So, like, that's another thing, and it's almost like a soft, hidden way for the developer to be like, look how diverse we are, right? Because they could, like, show off, like, oh, this guy's brown, and this is a woman. They do that shit all the time.
How are you opening those?
You had to do the menagerie.
Chalice.
Oh.
So
I'll be right back.
You know, that's all whatever and everything. Stop doing that. Also, so what we're saying is just don't hype it. You can release your fucking mobile games and shit and talk a little bit about it for a couple of seconds. Also, stop bringing developers out to explain shit about the game. Show, don't tell. I don't want to see some fat guy come out here whose hands or elbows are locked at his fucking torso, and the only thing moving is his fucking forearms while he talks. And he looks like he's never fucking had sex in his life, talking about the fucking game. Show me the fucking game. If you can't show me the game, shut the fuck up, roll your trailer, get the fuck out of there. Don't fucking sit here and talk to me about what your game's gonna be or what it could be, especially if you're a fucking nobody developer. Like, fucking Microsoft did this shit. They had people come out like, fuck off. Get the fuck out. And don't show me cinematic trailers either if you're already fucking nuts deep in the game, Cyberpunk. I don't give a fuck about your story because guess what? I haven't been there. You can't listen, okay, game developers. You cannot expect me to be invested in a fucking character that I have yet to meet. Okay. You know who gets to put out a cinematic trailer every fucking time with something going on, some kind of story element? The Last of Us or God of War, because I'm already invested in those characters. Okay. You know who doesn't get to do that? Fucking Cyberpunk, because I don't know who the fuck this guy is. Jesse Pinkman looking motherfucker. I don't know who he is. So when his friend gets shot, I can't be like, oh no. Like, and you're just spoiling the game. Like, what the fuck? Get out of here with that shit. Show gameplay, man. That's what people want to see more of. Sell me on this game with your gameplay. I mean, I'm already pretty much sold on the game, but I just want to see more gameplay, man. Have Keanu Reeves play the game next time.
Hire Keanu Reeves, just announce fucking everything.
I'm not going to mention the.
I just want to say to you about Keanu Reeves, like, I know he's killing it lately, but I was on his side even back in the day when everyone hated him. So don't pretend that everyone. Cool. Yeah, I was. And even during the Matrix, people are like, Keanu Reeves, really? He acts like a block of wood. It's like, motherfucker. Whoa. So he's introverted, but also like they wrote him that way. I saw the behind the scenes for the Matrix. It's like, look, you are not really here. Morpheus already told you that's not air you're breathing. So you don't get tired. So
stop breathing.
Don't act like Rocky out here.
Oh, you gotta just get the shit beat out of you. Oh man. Anyways, that's my only discussion. Also, gamers, stop being upset over devs trying something different. Jesus fucking Christ. All right. We have legitimate complaints with Fallout 76. And I'm mentioning this because they did talk about like they're adding NPCs into the game and shit like that. Okay. But like, and we have legitimate complaints, and our complaints are pretty fucking legitimate here. The fucking engine needs to be remade from the ground up. We've talked about this before, but Bethesda, get your shit together.
You got all the money in the world. Make a new fucking engine. No one's coming to Bethesda like, hey, can we use your engine? No one's doing that because it sucks.
But Fallout 76 as a game, there's nothing wrong with it. Here's the problem that I have. Bethesda came out and said, look, we want to try something different. We want to try a multiplayer game. You know, and this is, by the way, this isn't like them just coming out of nowhere. Whoa, okay. Every fucking loser idiot that's ever played fucking Elder Scrolls has been saying forever, make it an MMO. And then they make Elder Scrolls Online and it fucking sucks. I know there's a lot of people who play.
I mean, it's not bad. It just doesn't.
It's not terrible. It's just it makes the same mistake that all MMOs make that World of Warcraft doesn't make. It doesn't change things. It doesn't add new features. It just adds more content. You have to keep changing the game to make it feel fresh every fucking time, or people are just going to be like, oh, it's like doing a new fucking dungeon. It's really the same shit. Like, you play Destiny 2. It doesn't matter what dungeon you're in. It's the same fucking game. You're still shooting and using the same abilities. That's why shit.
But like arguably, shooting is good. More fun than, you know.
Yeah, but the
global cooldown, semi-real time
fun shit in Destiny 2 is when new shit comes out and you got like a new fucking ability tree and shit like that get used to, and new exotics and you know shit like that changes the game. That's interesting.
New bullshit. In Crucible.
So, but stop being upset at fucking Bethesda for trying something different. Yeah, they got egg on their face. They tried a multiplayer thing and it didn't really work. Okay, yeah, we may all have ideas about how it could have worked and why didn't they just do drop in, drop out of your friend's gameplay, blah, blah, blah.
I still think it was blown out of proportion. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of bugs.
It is definitely blown out of proportion.
But I mean, I don't see how you can praise Fallout 4 and completely shit all over Fallout 76, calling it the worst release of all time.
Like, fucking Angry Joe gave Fallout 4 a fucking like 8 out of 10 or some shit, and then he gives 76 a 3 or some shit like that. What are you talking about? And you can't be upset at Fallout. And like you said, you cannot be upset at 76 and love Fallout 4 because it's the same fucking engine with the same fucking problems, and that's really the only problems. It feels exactly the same. You just don't get as in-depth of a story.
The thing, you know what pisses me off more than anything, this is probably not a big deal for most people, but they always, in every Bethesda game, have their fucking frame rate tied to the physics, and they cap your frame rate at 60, right? And you go above that and start fucking with the physics. They've never fixed it. And everyone always makes excuses for them, saying like, oh, well, it's tied to the engine. There's nothing you can really do about it. What do? 3 months after 76 comes out, they fix it. Fucking 15 years of that problem. They never fixed it. 15 years.
Yeah. The only thing that you could complain about from 4 to 76 is that the story's not spoon-fed to you. Because if you play 4, there's a lot of hidden story depth in computers and shit like that you have to read. And Fallout 4, you can get away with not reading that and still kind of have a fucking story experience. 76, you kind of have to read shit if you want to be interested in the story at all. But it's not about story. It's about just getting out there and exploring a wasteland with your friends. Which it delivers on pretty good.
It's not a very good game to stream because it is so slow paced. Like if you want to actually like take your time and read everything, and you know, it's a pretty good game. But trying to stream it, it's a lot of just sitting there looking at computer screens trying to get the story.
Right, and I think they did the multiplayer decently.
The shooting never feels good because the engine, yet again.
But it pisses me off.
Just do what Rage did. Like, if Rage was just more in-depth, like, granted, Rage was focusing on the gunplay and abilities, but it has a few RPG elements and stuff, and NPCs to talk to, and hub zones, and just expand on that, but keep the Rage gameplay. I mean, maybe without all the fucking crazy abilities and shit, but, you know, at least the gunplay, like, Fallout would be unstoppable.
It's very fucking annoying to watch people, like, drop frames, complain that nothing is ever new and it's just recycled all the time, and then when a game developer tries to do something brand new and fresh that they've never done before, they just shit all over them. Same fucking people, by the way, that want Rage 2 to be on fucking rails. Like, fuck, what? Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't get that.
If you have too much, if you're,
that's not what Rage ever was. I mean, I didn't really play Rage 1. I mean, I did, but I didn't really play it. It's like, it's still an open world. Like, I just don't understand the complaints.
If you're bored of open world games, stop playing fucking Ubisoft games and shut up.
Well, the other thing that people were saying, they're like, Rage 2, just the whole world feels empty. And I thought it did a really good job of not feeling empty for the lack of shit there is to do at the end. Like, you can't go 10 feet without running into someone who wants to fucking murder you. There's constantly shit all over the road. Like, even if you're not doing anything specific, like, you just see two factions fighting all the time, all over the place. So, yeah, empty in the sense that once you beat it, there's really not a whole lot to do. But, like, in the sense of, like, how many people there are around, there's a ton of fucking people around.
Right. And, by the way, if you want Rage 2 more linear, Doom is there for you.
Yeah.
How fucking retarded do you have to be? How fucking retarded do you have to be to literally have exactly what you're asking for in the form of Doom? And then you just want that. You'd be complaining that it's just Doom. These people would be just fucking complaining that it's just like Doom. That's exactly. This is just Doom. Anyway, I mean, that's all I have to say about E3. There's a whole lot of fucking trailers and not enough gameplay being shown. Even with Cyberpunk, it was fucking annoying.
Well, like I said, every other year is a good E3. This year was the off year because everything's in development. There's not enough to really show. And that's just, I mean, just look at, hardly anything came out where they're like, it's going to be out in 3 months. It's all spring 2020.
Yep. It's true. And, you know, it's annoying because...
And Stadia. Who gives a fuck about Stadia?
Yeah, fuck Stadia. We're not even going to talk about that. It's fucking stupid. Listen, if if you have a game that's coming out a year from then and you haven't shown gameplay yet, you're allowed to show a trailer that's just cinematic, okay? You're allowed to do the Death Stranding thing and do like 3 to 4 years of just cinematic shit that doesn't make any sense.
You're allowed to do the Elden Ring thing.
But as soon as you show gameplay, as Cyberpunk 2077 did a year ago at E3, you're not allowed to just show a fucking cinematic trailer. You have to show gameplay again. And I don't mean like, here's a fucking long cinematic trailer and then a short gameplay cut with, no, you got to go in depth. After you've shown a gameplay trailer, you got to go in depth and shit, man. Show me the money. There's a Tom Cruise reference.
Oh, sorry. Were you talking?
Oh shit.
Well, let's just talk about Destiny. So we finally broke down.
Yeah, we
decided.
About that.
I mean, it was like a negotiation. Like, we'll pay $10, and Bungie's like, "How about 100?" And we're like, "Fuck you." And then they're like, "How about 40?"
Okay,
and we're like, "Okay, it's a pretty slow
time of year."
Well,
listen, we've got 40 hours in this game already. No fucking question.
Yeah, I mean, the complaints about the content are gone.
$1 an hour, boom. Yeah, a lot of the we already knew a lot of the problems we had in year one were being fixed in year two.
Yeah.
We were just pissed off because they took people like us who stuck with their fucking game and said, fuck you. Twice. They did it twice. They did it the first time when they said, hey, you know how you bought the $100 version of the game from us that came with the expansion pass? Well, those two things that you got with the expansion pass were DLCs. And
they were expansions. They call them expansions. They're not expansions.
Yeah, they were called expansions. Now they're called DLCs. And Forsaken is going to be an expansion. But your expansion pass doesn't really buy you that. It's still an expansion pass, but what we're selling now is the Forsaken expansion, which the expansion pass doesn't get you, and the year 2 pass. And instead of being like, listen, you guys that stuck with us through all this shit and all these problems that we know we have because we're fixing them in Forsaken, we're going to give you Forsaken for free. You still got to buy the DLCs, but we're going to give you Forsaken because we did sell you something we called an expansion pass. Instead of doing that, they didn't. They said, fuck you. Buy this shit. Buy the game again. And then they gave the year 1 away for free to everybody that didn't fucking buy it. Fuck you. We don't want your money. We want new people money.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a dick move.
It's a dick move. And that's why there'll always be a little part of me that hates myself for playing this game at all. But
but that's normal everyday shit anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I hate myself pretty much all the time. So
yeah, I jerk off and hate myself the whole time I'm doing it. But it's a necessity.
So let's. The complaints I still have have a lot to do with just the gameplay. Like, I don't like that enemies will just decide to focus you, and there's nothing you can do. Like, the bullets track you if you strafe back and forth. You have to be behind cover. You still die a lot. I don't like the fact that your superpower is that you fucking die all the time. What else?
PvP time to kill
sucks.
Still fucking sucks.
Well, it doesn't suck if you play it the way they want you to play it. They moved a lot of power weapons to the special slot. They added special ammo and completely revamped how weapons work. And so if you want to be good in Crucible, it's non-stop fucking grenade launchers and sniper rifles and abilities. And of course I play a hunter because I like the mobility and shit.
What's the name of the gun?
Fighting Lion?
Lord of Wolves.
Yeah.
Let me just read this post on Reddit from a Bungie dev. The most recent changes to Lord of Wolves.
I gotta go pee, so keep talking.
There's been a lot of discussion online about it. Once honorable, the Lord of Wolves has become a hard-to-stop werewolf in Lord Saladin's contest. It's super rigid. A small silver lining. It seems like roaming supers get melted by it. FYI, we're looking at reducing the damage resistance of roaming supers this fall.
No, look at the fucking gun.
Whether you've been tamed by it or running around as a pack in Iron Banner, we're going to bring the wolf to heel later this summer. Sometimes Destiny is going to have goofy outliers because we don't know how to balance. Or periods of time where something is OP because we don't have kits. Like the wolves howling right now in IB on PC. We don't want these periods to last too long because we want you to buy new shit. Post-Forsaken launch void locks, for example. But they can be memorable moments. Internally, we had a bunch of spirited debate this week around whether or not we should just prevent players from equipping Lord of Wolves throughout the game, like we did in Curse of Osiris. This is a blunt tool. It's basically banning an item from being equipped isn't something we take lightly. In this instance, Lord of Wolves' dominance, and it really showing out on PC, didn't rise up to meet the bar of this is broken enough to turn off in all activities. If the wolf pack continues to grow, we can revisit turning it off. From our perspective, this feels like a week where the wolves run wild and supers trample their way through Iron Banner a little less. Ultimately, video games are incredible places for memories to form, and we do want Destiny to be a game world that remembers. We're going to be...
Remember how shitty that shotgun was?
All right, sorry, recap.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
We're going to create a special triumph for this moment in time, and anyone who finishes an Iron Banner match will be awarded a triumph and an associated sweet nameplate. Our gifted artists and designers will come up with something cool to capture the week when the wolves ran wild. Woo! This is the same fucking idiot that's like, he fucking looks at his fist and goes, grow the fuck up.
What are we talking about?
They made a post on Reddit talking about Lord of Wolves and how they're nerfing it in summertime and how right now they don't think it's powerful enough to ban it in all activities like they did with Prometheus.
They banned Prometheus?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was broken.
So, well, they didn't ban it. Here's what they did. It came out and it was OP. They made light of it and gave it to they gave it to everybody.
It showed the flaw in Bungie's hit registration system.
Yeah. But they gave it to everyone on Xur. You know, they put it on Xur for that week. And it was a Trials of the Nine thing. So Trials of the Nine was just fucking everyone using Prometheus Lens. Then, because they couldn't fix it in time, they just broke it. They made it completely fucking useless. And we're like, well,
I remember them breaking it.
They didn't want to... I guess... what I'm assuming is that there was no way for them to take it out of the game without completely fucking people over and, like, you know, it's already, like, in the databases, it's in people's inventories and shit, it's in their vaults, and taking it out would have just been a fucking nightmare for the incompetence that is Bungie. So they just made it useless.
Luke Smith here writes this in the most incompetent and annoying fucking way ever, constantly talking about the wolf pack and all this stupid bullshit. I mean, what do you expect from a guy that has the title Little Light? Jesus fucking Christ. It's so fucking annoying. Grow up and act like an adult, okay? Adults play video games. You don't have to act like a fucking Nintendo nerd every single fucking time. So that, you know,
look at your fist.
We're still in the same.
Whoa.
PvP is still in the same boat. It's still a ridiculously high time to kill unless there's one or two fucking weapons. The time to kill is so high that right now Lord of Wolves is being used by everyone because, oh shit, the time to kill is actually low. And if they're not using wolves, guess what they're using? Grenade launchers and shotguns that one-shot you. Because why not? You have people running around with multiple sniper rifles. You have people running around with multiple shotguns, multiple grenade launchers.
Or multiple snipers. Yeah.
Because the time to kill sucks in this fucking game. And the problem is single-handedly one fucking fix. Bungie wants to have this fucking PvP system where you can bring shit from PvE into the game. And they're going to nerf Lord of Wolves. And it's going to fucking suck in PvE and be useless. It's going to join the list. Just open your collections and look at the list of exotics that fucking suck in this game. Rat King, Sweet Business, Sturm, Vigilance Wing, Crimson, Mida Multitool, Soros Regime, fucking Huckleberry, Jade Rabbit. All the kinetic fucking exotics pretty much suck. Why? Because they keep fucking nerfing them because they're too strong or some shit in fucking PvP.
Or they're afraid of them being overpowered, so they make them pretty weak to begin with. A lot of those haven't been changed. Right. They've always sucked.
And all they have to do,
we've talked about this before,
is make a kit system. Don't bring these into fucking PvP. Make a kit system where you're using guns that are separate, or just separate PvP and PvE, where you can only use PvP gear and weapons in PvP, and those weapons and gear behave differently than the PvE ones, so that you can have really powerful weapons and armor in PvE. Because even the armor is really fucking lame. Crown of Tempest, arc ability kills, restore arc ability.
You don't get to complain. Whoa. I'm a hunter. I mean, our exotics are so lame. I just stick with Stompies all the time, and all that does is increase your jump and slime.
Exotics as well, okay? Like
most, yeah, but you have ones that are like really good. I mean, yeah, you have a lot of shitty ones, but like we don't have any that are just dominant.
Okay, I mean, let's not pretend that you had pants that were fucking godly for all of year one.
But okay, first of all, that super that you use, even though it was good, it wasn't any good against bosses, right? It was just kind of handy when you were overwhelmed. Second of all, in any situation where that super is needed to the point where you actually get your super back, you've probably killed enough enemies where you don't need your super again right away.
But this is because Bungie's afraid of hunters being really fucking dominating in PvP. That's why all of your exotics suck. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. So I do get to complain. The fucking problem is the exotics need to be separated from PvE and PvE. It's why the stag sucks, okay? Grants rift energy when critically wounded, creates healing rift on death. That's fucking trash. You should never want to die. It's fucking stupid. Like, you know how you make that exotic good? Okay, let's say you want to have an exotic to where when you die, something cool happens, right? How about it grants rift energy when critically wounded, and when you die, it fucking resurrects you in the rift. Oh, that's too strong for PvP. Yeah, no shit, but it's not too strong for PvE. Like, what's the fucking problem? It's a fucking exotic. I only get to wear one of them. With the current situation of exotics, how weak they are, I should be able to wear every fucking slot an exotic.
Yeah.
They're not that fucking great.
Some of them you don't even want to wear because of the other stats they have on them. Like, for example, Stompies
have negative stats.
Stompies has a perk, Bomber. Reduces grenade cooldown when using your class ability. Ooh. Primary Ammo Finder increases the drop chance of primary ammo on kill. It's the same perks that are on legendaries, but with legendaries, you can get a different roll on them. I'm pretty sure that these are always the same roll every time. So if you want to use exotic, you can
get different rolls on the new ones. But I mean, let's look at Skull of Dire Amkara, for example. Looks fucking awesome, right? It has an ability where Nova Bomb grants super energy. What the fuck?
What does that even mean?
A, explain, but also B, why the fuck would I give a fuck about super energy when I'm using my super? You get additional damage resistance during Nova Bomb, and Nova Bomb kills grant super energy. Oh, great. Yeah. As opposed to...
How much super energy?
As opposed to Nezarec Sin, where void kills increase ability regen. And that includes your fucking super. It's just so fucking random.
Well, hold on. Let me go through the ones I got real quick.
You mentioned something. I want to hit this real quick. You mentioned something. One of the best fucking exotics I have right now is Geomag stabilizers. I'm wearing them, okay? It has close enough on it where when Chaos reaches the beam that I shoot, when Chaos Reach super energy is almost full, sprinting tops it off. it's about an eighth of the bar. If the bar gets 7/8 filled, if I start sprinting, it'll fill that final eighth. It's quite a big chunk, but it also does something where damaging enemies with Chaos Reach extends its duration, so it becomes really good. But here's the problem. That's great and that's amazing, but here's the fucking problem. It has your standard mobile and reinforce resilience choice on it, and then it's got traction, grants increased mobility and tighter turn radius from sprinting, and then it's got
which is useless on PC.
Yeah, primary ammo finder increases the drop chance of primary ammo on kill. Okay, but let's compare that to some purple boots I have. Okay, let's just compare that to a general pair of purple boots. Here we go. Improve resilience. It's got the same mobility and resilience on it, but it's also got faster ready and stow speed for grenade launchers, or slightly faster ready and stow speed for energy weapons. Or I could choose between primary ammo finder, increased drop chance for primary ammo and kill, or special ammo finder. I had a pair that had fucking power ammo finder and fucking shit like what I'm wearing on my fucking helmet right now. That's just amazing. Like shit, simple shit. That's just way better than exotics, like precision weapon targeting, improved targeting acquisition, accuracy, and aim down sight speed for hand cannons, scout rifles, trace rifles, bows, linear fusion snipers, and slug shotguns. Where is this shit on exotics?
Yeah.
That's so fucking good. Why the fuck would I wear an exotic helmet if I have to get rid of that? My helmet is restorative mod on top of restorative warlock armor with precision weapon targeting and heavy ammo finder. Increased drop chance for heavy ammo on kill.
Well, the thing is a lot of these exotics are super specialized, and the stuff they're specialized in aren't even that good, which is like, when I play the game, like I try to like maximize things that I'm using all the time. You know, like I'm not going to maximize like, oh, my knife does more damage or some shit, because I hardly ever use it. So Stompies, exactly. I am always running and I'm always sprinting, so I'm going to fucking use Stompies. You know? All the mods I put on my gear, it's not like, oh, your grenade recharges faster. It's all stats. It's all fucking, you know, resilience. So my stats right now, I got 10 mobility, 6 resilience, and 2 recovery. That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
So let me go through.
Exotic's good is fucking why you get that. The only thing that's good about exotics are when they do fucking ridiculously good shit, like the fucking pants for fucking hunters for the longest time in season 1, right?
Yeah, like, I mean, you can still use them, but they definitely nerfed it. You got to hit so many fucking enemies to get your super back,
and it just all that does.
And the thing is,
it's not a spec you might not even want to use.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a pretty good spec. But the thing is like, if you don't have those pants, you pretty much always have your super when you need it anyway, right? It's not like Golden Gun where, like, if it's the end of a dungeon or something, or I know I'm going to get a super back because there's a bunch of orbs on the ground, I can just use it and kill randos with a Golden Gun, right? Like, there's no point in taking one enemy and shooting them with that arrow. It's just, you can only use it when you need it, you know?
Right.
So you really never
how many
need those pants
overlap anymore. Also, by the way, like,
well, hold on. I want to go through some of these exotics just so you can see how useless they are. So, Knucklehead Radar provides radar while you're aiming, enhanced radar while crouching. A lot of guns do that on their own, including Ace of Spades. So, kind of useless. Special ammo finder. Okay, Celestial Nighthawk. Only good in select situations. Golden Gun fires 1 high damage shot instead of 3 or 6. Good on bosses. That's it. Foe Tracer, marks targets, buffs damage to low health marks. This is fucking weird because, first of all, it looks like shit. Second, the mark is good for PvP, but the buffs damage to low health marks doesn't really do anything in PvP. It's still going to take the same number of bullets to kill someone, so it's good for bosses.
Maybe if you're using a fucking assault rifle or something.
So it's weird. It's like half of it's good for PvE and half of it's good for PvP. Whatever. Graviton Forfeit, improved invisibility. Your invisibility lasts longer. Whatever. You got to be in a certain spec.
But you're not invisible.
This is one they nerfed. Wormhusk Crown. Dodging gives a small health and shield bump. So this used to activate your health regeneration when you dodged. which was good because just hunters generally have low recovery. So when you dodge, your health starts recovering immediately and you don't have to wait. Now it just gives you some health and shield.
That's the weird thing to me is
ability.
Some of these things that are specialized to just one spec, like Crown of the Tempest does arc ability kills restore arc abilities.
The shitty ones.
But then Geomag Stabilizers only works for Chaos Reach. Why?
I don't know. Young Ahamkahara's Spine. Ability damage grants enhanced trip mines. So first of all, your ability damage they're talking about, that's your knife. That's your knife or your smoke bomb. Yeah. So you have to be using a smoke bomb that does damage or a knife. And then it grants an enhanced
grenade.
It might. I don't know. They don't fucking explain.
I think it does.
But it grants enhanced trip mines, which is like the worst grenade. So, I mean, if anything, you'd use your grenade, it would grant ability damage towards your trip mines, and then you have to wait for it to respawn? Or get off cooldown? Whatever. Mechaneer's Trick Sleeves. Boost sidearms, especially when you're wounded. When you should be running away and getting health back, your sidearms are going to be better. Whoa! Aeon Swift. Dodging grants energy to nearby Aeon cultists. Yeah, this one requires that everyone on your fucking fire team is wearing this Aeon thing. Shinobu's Vow. Improves skip grenade.
Yeah, that was a weird choice that they made with the Aeon stuff.
Yeah. Sealed Ahamkahara Grass. Melee hits reload equipped weapon. Oh boy. Whoa. Shards, this is a new one that I don't have. Shards of Galanor. Get super energy for blade barrage hits and kills. So your knife gives you super energy. I don't know how good that is because I don't know how much energy it gives you. Oathkeeper. Bow's charges can be held indefinitely. That's right. Something that should happen anyway is part of an exotic just for hunters.
It's just so fucking like gimmicky. Everything is so gimmicky. Lucky Raspberry. Increases
listen to this one.
Capabilities of arc bolt grenade. Oh, yeah, just arc bolt grenade? Not all of your fucking grenades or anything, just arc bolt grenade. What the fuck? Who the fuck's gonna wear a single piece of armor for one goddamn grenade?
Listen to this one. This is the
it doesn't even kill people.
This would probably be okay for PvP, but listen to how specialized it is. Using your arc melee ability or being hit by a melee attack will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful melee counterpunch that will heal you.
I'm telling you, man, whoever's in charge of making these exotics, it's like 16 different people and they don't communicate. And one of them's a fucking mouth-breathing retard over here.
Dodge Dragon Shadow
Trick Sleeves.
Dodge reloads guns and buffs speed and handling. Now my dodge already reloads guns, so this just buffs speed and handling for my guns when I dodge. Like, what the fuck? Grants 2 knives per charge. Gain a second dodge charge. Or Lucky Pants. Precision hits load a round into stowed hand cannons.
What?
Why aren't there exotics adding new abilities to your character?
But like, this is why Stompies are the best I got, because increases sprint speed and slide distance, improves high jump, strafe jump, and triple jump. It now improves triple jump. It used to not do that. So now Stompies are
is an amazing example of exactly what an exotic should be. Okay? They should do significant changes to your character on multiple levels. Increases high jump,
it's not a significant change, but it applies to all classes at all times.
Right. But it's pretty significant. The speed is significant. It's a significant thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna specialize your fucking exotics, it's got to be way OP.
I don't mind exotics specializing in one element, but it doesn't make any like fucking sun bracers. Okay, solar grenades burn longer. Melee kills restore them. Why not? Like, why? Why not all grenades? Solar grenades, my dude. Specifically solar grenades. The duration of solar grenades. By the way, I don't know what they mean by duration, because you only really have one grenade that burns. Oh wait, solar grenade. That's what it's called. It's literally one fucking grenade. It's not even all the fire grenades. It's one grenade. What the fuck? So if I want to use these, I am forced to use solar grenade. Now, obviously, solar grenade's the only good grenade. That's because this game developer is retarded and won't go back and fucking fix these grenades that suck.
There's not even... Here's the fucked up part. No class just has a grenade that you throw it, it explodes, and shit dies. There's no just regular grenade. The closest thing I got is the one that you throw, it bounces once, blows up, does damage, and then people burn.
Sticky grenades definitely kill people on one hit.
Well, your sticky grenades might. Mine
it depends on what their resilience
not the Arc Hunter.
PvP. I mean, Titan grenades just murder fucking people.
Yeah, well, the pulse grenades that both Warlocks and fucking Titans have are great. They're the best grenade in the game. I don't even have them as Arc.
Did you know Titan's pulse grenade is actually better?
I'm sure it is.
I'm pretty sure it ticks more times.
It's probably exotic.
It's so bad. It's really upsetting. You either need to get a kit system for PvP where everybody goes in and they choose their loadout, and their loadout is, I want to use hand cannon, and there's a single fucking hand cannon that everybody uses, and that's how you balance the fucking game. Or you do, if you want to do your stupid little exotic flashy bullshit, here's what you do. You go, this gun's for PvE, this gun's for PvP. You take what you got already and you divide them up. These are PvP weapons because that's what we intended, because, obviously certain weapons are clearly better for PvP, like Thorn, for example, or Vigilance Wing. You go, okay, these are PvP weapons. That means that you can use them in PV, in whatever the fuck, but they're not going to be tuned for that.
I just wish that like like you said, there's exotics that are good for PvP, and they're good for. There's other ones that are good for PvE, and the way you get them is that you do PvP to get the PvP exotics, and you do PvE to get the PvE exotics. It's fucking terrible that we got to go in with fucking void hand cannons in the Crucible for fucking 2 days straight.
Yeah,
just to get fucking Thorn that's not even good in PvP.
Well, let's say you want a gun to be good in PvE still, like Cold Heart, but you don't want it. But it does too much damage in PvP. So what you do is you just make it to where Cold Heart doesn't really function in PvP. You can shoot it, but its damage, when you go into a PvP arena, its damage is lowered by a high percentage. So people just will never want to use it. And you say,
that's kind of what happened.
I mean, you can honestly just go, okay, you can't even equip it in PvP.
Well, the thing is, it's not even very good in PvE against small enemies. The reason it's so good against bosses is because the longer you hold it on a target, the more damage it does. But you can't really do that in PvP because they're either going to run away, and you're always going to be doing minimum damage, or you're going to kill them, and you're not ever going to get to the... Yeah, but I'm just saying, like
Lord of Wolves. Lord of Wolves is clearly a PvP weapon, right? So it's just take it out of PvE and make it a PvP weapon and balance it for PvP, and you don't have to worry about having it still be strong for PvE.
Well, see, that's part of the problem too, is they're high time to kill. And I know, like, there's a lot of people like, I like high time to kill games. It's like, no, it sucks, and here's why. Because
it does suck.
You have high time to kill, but there are still weapons that have very low time to kill, like rocket launchers, grenade launchers, snipers, Lord of Wolves, shotgun, like anything like that, and those become the meta. Go into Crucible right now, and that's all anyone's using. Fucking power weapons, explosive weapons, shotguns, and snipers. Because it has low time to kill. So don't tell me that you fucking love high time to kill, because all it does is it takes the fucking the meta and shifts it to all the weapons that have the lowest time to kill. If you had a low time to kill, a lot more weapons would be viable. And you know what? When I go in there, I want to use a fucking hand cannon.
Aren't playing the fucking video game, or is such a small fucking minority, it's ridiculous.
Well, I'm leader now, apparently, so what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm going to go AFK and get a drink and use the bathroom, so you can pick whatever you want to do. Yeah. I'll be right back. Real quick. Continue talking about how Destiny is still a fucking problem, but hey, at least there's a ton of shit to do now.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems that people are complaining about is it requires a lot more resources to infuse your shit, and it takes a lot longer to get to the max light level, which sucks when Iron Banner comes around, because your light level matters in PvP all of a sudden. which is fucking stupid. So you're at a severe disadvantage when you go in there with anything less than max light level. But those same enhancement cores that used to be masterwork cores are now used not only for infusing, but they're also used to upgrade your gear to masterwork. So and you don't get very many of them. Honestly, it is the limiting factor when it comes to upgrading your shit. So instead of getting something new and just infusing it right away, like I'm sitting on, I think every piece of gear, every gear slot that I have a higher item level shit with worse rolls on it that's just sitting there so that when I get another roll, the game will know to give me something higher. I'm pretty sure, I mean, I don't really know how it works. If I delete those, I don't know if I'm still going to get my high item level shit or if it's just going to take the highest in my inventory. So they're just there, and I don't want to use them, and I don't want to infuse them because I don't have enough fucking enhancement cores to do it. I don't think infusion, I mean, you get gear so slowly anyway. I don't think taking that out of the infusion process would be a big deal, especially just because to get something to masterwork, I don't know, you did the math, Monty. How many enhancement cores does it take to get something masterwork?
It's like 16.
16! Now, you get like 3 a day if you do all the bounties from Banshee 44. 3 a day.
Yeah.
You can buy as many as you want from Spider, but every time you buy one, the price goes up and they cost legendary shards. So the first one's 10, the second one's 20. The price
doubles.
Yeah. So you buy 2 a day from him, and that's the only way it's worth it. Now there is a cheese that I haven't gotten a chance to do yet, but when he has, what do they call it? Simulation seeds, the Mercury resource, when he has those for sale for legendary shards, not glimmer, you can get 5 of those for 1 legendary shard. And you just buy as many as you can. You go to Mercury, you turn all of them in, and break down all the gear he gives you. And breaking down that gear gets you most of your legendary shards back, plus all the enhancement cores. So, there you go, Bungie. This is what fucking happens when you do some shit like this. People are just going to find the fastest way to do it. Because it's not fun. Like, it's something that you probably should do, and you kind of have to do, but it's not fun to just sit there fucking clicking, and just buying all this shit. Especially because we played this game so long, got so much shit, that, like, I'm at, like, almost 10,000 legendary shards right now.
Oh, man.
And I'm not even going down. Like, just based on all the new shit that I get and keep breaking down, I go down to, like, 8,000, and then it goes back up to almost 10,000. I'm going to head to Spider right now, actually, because, I want to see what he's selling Glimmer for. I spent 75,000 Glimmer on opening those chests so I can get Imperials. I need 1,000 more Imperials to unlock the green rune slot. And then once I get the green rune slot, I have to get the random drop for the green rune that gets me the Ostburger. Osturger? I don't remember what the fuck it's called.
Asperger's.
Yeah.
Auschwitz.
That's pretty much what it is. It's a walking holocaust. Like, it fucking murders people in PvP. Yeah, so this is one of those guns where it's a legendary 140 RPM hand cannon, like Better Devils or Ace of Spades or something. It has random rolls on it, and it's got some kind of hidden stat that just makes it really easy to get headshots. For some reason, it's good, and it has nothing to do with the stats you see or the rolls you get. I mean, that'll help. The rolls you get will help one way or the other, but for some reason, it's just really good. And everyone uses it, and I really want to try it, because I am a hand cannon dude. And I really like Ace of Spades, but it would be kind of cool to be able to switch out Ace of Spades for a legendary and use another exotic. Especially in PvP. Problem is, you got to go through all these fucking hoops. We really got to start doing the menagerie this week, because there's a lot of good drops there.
Yeah.
And it seems like something you can just kind of grind out. I mean, I did it once. We completed it. There was no communication. You just kind of do what everyone else is doing.
You're selling simulation seeds, but
yeah, but they're for Glimmer. So right now he's selling 2,500 Glimmer for 5 Phase Glass Needles, and 5 Phase Glass Needles are 1 legendary shard. So I'm going to buy a bunch of Phase Glass Needles and get my Glimmer up a little bit.
Fetuses.
Fetuses.
All right. Well, I mean, what else is there to say?
Well, I mean, the rest of the game is good.
Herd.
Yeah. Well, the game still looks good. It still plays good. I mean, we haven't hit the raid content yet, so we'll see. Right.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to get some of the clan back together. So if you're listening and you're looking for a Destiny 2 clan, once we get our bearings and figure out what to do in the raid, we'll start recruiting heavily, I guess. But if you know what you're doing and you want to explain it all, see, here's the thing: I don't even know if it's worth doing some of the raids that we missed.
Yeah, it is.
Just sure.
Collections and exotics.
They all have their own gear and shit.
Just like any MMO, there's purpose to going back and doing shit because in this game specifically, when you break something down, you have a chance to get enhancement cores.
That's true.
They drop 710s in Callus, and doing a single run of Callus is gonna net you a bunch of fucking purples, and you do that on 3 characters a week. Pretty fucking.
It's gonna take a lot longer to get all 3 characters up to max light. But the good thing is once you hit max level, you can basically take all the weapons you have that are 750 and shit from your main character and just use them on your other character to get the light level up and start getting good gear immediately.
Yeah. And also, we're recruiting again. Toxic carries begin now. The fuck are you doing, Monty?
What?
Remember Toxic Carries? That was great. Cover me, Booze. Oh, fuck. You didn't cover me, Booze. I had to blow myself up with Warcliffe coins. You didn't cover me, Booze.
Oh, God. That was so good. It's going to make a comeback. Toxic carries. Somnium Wolf was around. He's a bit of a B team.
We're taking it back, boys.
We're taking it back.
I just want to, before I put the official, roll call into Discord, I want to, at least unlock some shit.
Fucking dude. Oh, never mind. You're not even here.
What, dude?
What?
The Hangman came out and we had him down to half health.
I saw his dick.
Yikes.
I'm going to get myself up to 75,000 glimmer. All right, thanks, Spider. Spider is a godsend, let me tell you. It probably sucks if you haven't been playing, but once you're up to 10,000 legendary shards, there's always some kind of exchange rate where you can just buy one thing for legendary shards and then spend that on something else and
save
yourself
if you raided with us and you just got a lot of legendary shards left over, it's going to be a cake for you.
Yeah.
They didn't intend for it to be this way.
With us?
Yeah, man.
So much, you get all the fucking ladies with all the...
All right, so everyone's here. Be prepared for transport.
We ever going to do that one thing for the mission on Io that we have no idea what the hell gives?
The whispering dick?
Hold on,
you gotta look that up.
Well, I guess that's all there is to say about it.
An anomaly on Io.
Unless Monty wants to talk to us about his girlfriend. How's your girlfriend doing?
She fucking pissed me off, man.
How's that close to a horse's wiener? I've been more worried about getting pissed on. Well, we'll continue the podcast through the menagerie because this is your first time and my second time doing it.
Oh, that's what we're doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's technically a podcast anymore, really? It's like the Joe Rogan show now. It's just gone off the rails. We've been doing DMT.
Am I dead? It's still a podcast. It's still recording. I'm still going to upload it.
You ever been high on weed and do DMT while you fucking alien while doing karate, my dude?
While eating elk? While eating elk with jalapenos?
What is this?
Don't worry, just do what everyone else is doing. It's like the easiest raid ever. There's no way to fail it as long as you finish.
I'm in the circle.
Rally to that flag and get your super ready.
Nice.
Okay.
Anyone gonna activate? Okay, I'll activate it, I guess.
Shoot the hive. Got it. Roger.
Honestly, this is probably what most people are doing now, just running this over and over again. You get the best gear.
Well, it's the newest thing, yeah.
And there's a daily here, so... But here's the thing, is like the runes that drop, it only drops what you can use. So it's kind of in our best interest to run this so that when we do other shit, the runes drop.
Activated.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
I guess you could come in here with a pre-made, huh?
Yeah, if you wanted to, sure.
Laser beam, everybody. I generated a fuck ton of orbs.
You know, take these orbs and put them in the things.
Yeah, I get that.
So the way this works is the better you do, the less different rooms you have to go through. So even if you completely suck, you just have to go through more rooms.
Lamp has been lit.
That's it for this one. Next room.
Did they change Callus's voice? Is Nolan North doing Callus's voice?
Probably. It's just Nolan North fucking doing shit. Everyone's voice talking to him. It's just Nolan North in a room doing like his ventriloquist act. Playing with his dolls.
No, sir, playing with the dolls.
Oh no, he's talking about his dogs.
He's on a spaceship. What's this thing in the top
talking
left?
about
What is
his
that?
dogs? What?
The crystals.
There's some kind of progress meter up here. What is that?
Yeah, so
Next
the goal is to fill up the meter to that diamond thing in the middle. And if you don't, you just have to do extra rooms. Just ignore it.
Hey, look, it's Callus's bed where all the magic happens.
No,
you
the
know
menagerie à trois happens. All right, so
you know what?
this one, you're gonna kill things, and they're gonna drop skulls like in Eater of Worlds, and then you use the skulls to destroy the crystals. It's a pretty straightforward shit.
So like the mines or whatever.
They fight their worthy opponents? What? Oh God!
I don't see what I'm supposed to use this on.
Say, explain it again.
Explain it again.
Explain it again. He needs it.
Well, no, I don't see whatever the hell we're supposed to be shooting.
Well, I'm already picked up all the skulls. There'll be more. It's this purple thing right behind you.
So you pick up the skulls and
there's crystals that show up like up here.
Purple crystals
on the walls.
They're immune, right?
They're immune unless you use the skulls. There's one up there.
Do you use the skull or like eat the skull?
Are you retarded?
It's like in a, wait. Are you talking about the skulls like in Eater of Worlds?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Except for they make the sound like what was that? Oh God. The first raid, the Vault of Glass. They make the same sound as the oracles. Because I heard them.
I don't even think it fails if everyone dies.
Look. I'm dead.
So when it says Callus demands that you fight worthier opponents, I don't even know what that means.
It means an epic guy spawns in the middle.
They can also use the skulls to kill enemies. I think you're supposed to, actually. I don't know for sure.
Probably based off what's going on right now.
But honestly, I like this better than the raid.
I think when you kill that guy, he spawns skulls. Yeah, it triggers the next
phase.
Oh my God, I just got fucking smacked in the face and I died.
Okay, so they drop skulls.
Oh, damn it. Going into third person, that's another thing I've never liked about Destiny. Random shit throws you into third person, like dodging. I don't agree with. There's a lot of shit that does not need third person.
Out of time.
It's okay.
The mockery.
Like, instead of pulling me out to third person for a second, like literally 1 second, just to watch my character spin around and then put me back into first person, just make me, like, dodge to the left. I don't need the spinny thing. Just have it dodge.
Well, it should be an option in the setting. I personally like it, but
I mean, I don't mind being
be an option.
I don't mind being in third person in
this
the tower
is where they burn the slaves. They're robots. Calm down.
Robot slaves. Yeah, but you don't know that. You're not supposed to know that.
What? I've already been, dude.
All right, so we got to stand in the circle and kill shit, and then collect things and bring them back to the circle. There's 3 circles.
Oh, circle is shrinking, and now the circle is not shrinking because you picked that up. Wow. I killed a bitch.
Man, I ain't seen shit.
Oh, you don't have to leave the circle. It's not okay.
Yeah, you really don't. This is one of those circles that doesn't block your bullets. I should really turn the game sound on so the podcast can at least hear what's happening.
It's not really a podcast anymore. I think it's kind of over, honestly.
Well, I'm not going to stop it now. Not going to stop it now. We could talk about things that piss us off as we do them. Like me not knowing where shit's coming from.
Jesus.
Why are we moving? I don't understand.
Well, you gotta throw these. You gotta throw the balls into each of these things. I don't know what it does. Really, it doesn't really matter.
Destroyed. Do we get overran or something if we don't?
Don't really know. See, but that's the difference between this place and raids. Is raids you need to know exactly what's going on. This you just kind of wing it, and you can't really fail.
A lot of orbs out there, man.
Orbs.
Yeah, I nuked a bunch of fucking wizards.
Yeah, you look to the right, you see one enemy. You look to the left, kill the main threat. Look to the right again, you're surrounded. It's good. I think that is one of the metas is you have one person die so that all the enemies focus on your dead body.
Run out of time.
There's so many orbs.
Oh, we're just trying to fill this meter up by killing shit, I guess, right?
Yeah. He's got the weirdest friggin' voice. You think they modulate it, or did someone like actually come in and make that voice?
Amy Schumer doing her natural voice.
Makes sense.
No. Sounds like those guys from Hitchhiker's Guide. No. Welcome to ship.
Oh, my god,
the
I forgot about this one.
Vogons. Hey, look at that. We're in the same boat. You know what I mean?
Literally. Space boat.
Spice boat. Oh, that guy doesn't give a fuck. He's just walking by. I'm just gonna go this way.
Oh, this one, you kill these knights, they drop their sword, and then you use the sword to destroy the shield on the other enemies that show up. And that's it. Pretty simple. I didn't even look to see if there was like a burn thing going on.
I'll stick with my gun. Thank you very much. Jeez. There's an invisible man.
You think Thorn would be good for this?
Probably. I mean, Ace of Spades is just as good because explosions.
Yeah, blows up. You seem to die a lot more often, but it doesn't seem to matter. I mean, I could see this being an absolute nightmare if it would have had the same thing as the raid where you can't respawn and you gotta start over, and makes it a lot less stressful when you die.
Oh, come on. I'm not even near that guy. He just fucking slams the ground because Dunk Monkey retard's fucking too close to him.
Throw a knife! They just always spawn behind you, don't they? Shit.
Well, they're everywhere, so.
So what do you know about that last exotic hand cannon? I think it's another Destiny 1 thing.
Lumina?
Malfeasance?
No, I don't think that's a Destiny 1 gun.
What did it do?
Which one?
Malfeasance.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Wow, okay, so I gotta take this dude's shields down with a fucking sword, but he just smashes the ground and I instantly die. Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't make much sense.
Super.
I don't know if you get bonus rewards for actually getting the meter up to where the
I think that's the goal.
Well, yeah, that's the goal, but if you don't do it, you just do an extra room until you do, but...
See, that's how far we made it with this one. The hunted. Bomb, bomb. At least it's not stupid gay shit like maybe anger on the dogs. The door closed.
Oh God, that'll always be the worst. Forcing you to do these mechanics.
That suck.
That the game is not made for. Alright, this one you gotta stand on the platforms and just kill shit. Everyone here? Okay, activate. And it's gonna get dark.
Alright. Beating women or something, no? That's pretty dark.
What's this say?
Was that lore?
Yeah, lore.
Aim at head level and fire away. Pretty stressful. I'm here all alone.
This way, Monty. Oh boy. Oh, he just walks over there and slams the ground.
Jesus.
And everybody dies when he do that. I think we're all supposed to focus him real quick, like.
I didn't even know he was there. I was shooting at other enemies.
Did I end up capturing that? I don't even know. Oh, and still not captured. Thorn actually helps because you can see him in the dark.
Right? And it over-penetrates, so when there's like a fucking... When there's a shit ton of thralls, you can just shoot through them all.
Wow, look at all these orbs. Holy shit. Is there a boss? I think there's a boss now.
I don't know. I'm just following this guy in front.
The game tells you if you hit tab. It's just like any other mission.
Got time for that?
It chooses where we go. They put LFR in the game. Good for them.
Yeah, so this is... It looks a lot like Leviathan, but like taken over with shit.
That's Vex
Did we
shit.
do this? Did we do this?
This is some Vex shit. Well, the Leviathan's a massive fucking ship, man.
Because there's parts of it that people forget about, and it's like, these are the ruins of the old part of the ship.
Right? It eats planet.
Is this all of us? Alright. Why am I always the one activating? Oh, this is classic burn him down, and then he hides behind a shield, and then burn him down, and he hides behind a shield.
Classic.
Oh yeah, we gotta stand in this other circle. This circle moves too. Laser. Yeah, careful the Cyclops things. They will fucking one-shot you. Oh, yeah, the circle's in a different place now. It's over here. Oh, there's one over there, too. I should probably go to where you are. I can't survive alone.
Can't survive on my own. Look out! I saved everyone's life by shooting him with a fusion rifle.
Oh, God.
Yep. There's a Cyclops all the way out there.
Not even in line of sight. Son of a bitch.
I got him.
Because everyone knows that lasers can be arced over cover.
I think we're supposed to get both of these.
Yes.
At or around the same time.
I don't know what that drunken monkey guy is doing, but the key is you walk right up to him.
It says bomber hives like Eater
The
Worlds.
key is under the mat.
Another circle. If you crouch, the lasers can't find you.
Yeah, except they just shoot the corners, and yes, it does find you. There's a bad guy that spawned in the circle.
Fucking harpy lasers are bullshit.
Yes. Suffer the laser beam of death.
And that's it. It's like a mini raid.
Oh. It's more like a strike.
Big strike mini raid, sure.
Invoke your chalice's power. You have no power here.
Oh, fuck.
Pierce.
Oh, now apparently you can run out of the room and run back in, and you can open the chest again. You gotta run until the letters show up.
Well, you got 278 seconds to do it, my dude.
I don't know how. Oh, it's right here.
Does everybody have to do that?
I don't think so.
Yo, man. You can sail the 7 seas. I said, hey, man. You can open the chest again.
I guess everyone requires rune chalice. Oh, that's right. I got it. You got to put a rune in your chalice to open it, though.
You gotta put a rune in your chalice. What does that mean? Seriously, what the fuck? Like, I gotta put a rune in it now?
Where the fuck is my chalice?
It's in pursuits.
Oh, it absorbs the rune. Wow. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell. 715? What the fuck?
Well, you still get powerful gear just for doing it every day. But I think it actually drops regular legendary shit.
So I don't want to waste my runes then, right?
Well, I got a bunch of runes that I'm not going to use, so I'm just going to do it one more time and then... I just wish that you, like... I don't really want anything these runes have to offer. You know? So I just wish you could go in without putting anything in your chalice and have it just be completely random.
Don't forget you share shit with your other classes.
They give you a long time to do this. It's like they want you to do it.
Yeah, I got the same fucking cloak. All right, did I get
Submachine guns. Here we go. Whee!
Yeah, I have 4 fucking runes for submachine.
Chalice mini tool, Bic. Riven's curse, huh? Wow, this comes with 3 options. I don't see this. Oh, there it is.
All right, we can go whenever you're ready. I'm going to end the podcast real quick. So thanks for listening, everybody. We'll probably be back. Well, actually, I'm not going to do the podcast next Sunday because I'm not going to be around streaming Friday and Saturday. I'm going to stream Sunday instead. So
yeah,
stop by and watch the stream. If we got something to talk about, we'll make a podcast out of it. And if not, then just watch the stream.
Go fuck yourself.
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and Monty streams, Gabler streams. But... anything you want to plug? The whole world is listening.
Ass.
It's just giving me random SMG.
I guess not. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. This has been Electronic Gaming Monthly. Mostly. Not monthly. That's already taken. Mostly. Electronic Gaming mostly. Monthly.
Bye, Felicia.
Later.